Before this video starts, I just want to tell you all before you comment down below that this video was made at a time when I didn't know how to edit videos or make good thumbnails. So anyways, many months after the destruction of Gerbil's old camp, Gerbil and Silver came across the ruins of an old militia mining camp. Reconstruction efforts began. Gerbil and Silver began fixing up the old bar and barracks of the old mining facility. After a long day of building, Gerbil and Silver gathered around the fire to reflect on what just happened. Gerbil and Silver began construction on a new storage and chests. Silver realized there was a lack of food at the camp, so she began planting some potatoes and cabbage. A tribal scout showed up and decided to test our might, which we gladly showed him after we stabbed him and shot him in the back a couple times. We decided to spare him and bring him into our base and brainwash him and turn him into one of us. We had a bunch of wild cats who were starving, decided to come in and try to eat us. We stashed the tribal named Dan inside of the dining room slash bar and tried to convert him. We had a police officer chasing from one of the settlements, chasing an outlaw, but neither of them survived this encounter. After a couple of days, we managed to recruit the tribal named Dan. We had a caravan arrive from one of the nearby settlements to trade with us, though we had no money on us to even trade with them. We had a patrol from the militia come by, though they didn't survive very long since the caravan decided to resist us, since the militia is not very well liked around these parts. We had a wanderer named Miok decide to join us, and we gladly recruited her because we need as much help as we can to fight back against the militia. We had a bunch of bandits arrive on the outskirts, preparing to test our might, but we decided to come to them and show them our might ourselves. Dan rushed in and stabbed one of the females in the back. After a long shootout, we finally won the battle with no casualties and maximum casualties on the enemy side. One of the bandits dropped this really cool mask, and Dan decided to wear it, as well as Dan decided to strip the bandit and steal his clothes. Silver expressed to the rest of the guys that she needed a place to research all sorts of things to improve the quality of life around the camp. After a couple days of building, the room was finally finished with Gerbil's touch. A bunch of settlers stopped by to trade with us with their leftover goods. A bunch of expeditionary soldiers showed up to fight some bandits, but one of the bandits had a steampunk outfit, which looks like a juggernaut, but still lost. We swooped in to steal one of the bandits before the expeditionary soldiers could kill him, so we could recruit him and make him a part of the rebellion. Miok and Gerbil became lovers after Miok told a story to Gerbil. A bunch of tribals showed up with a chieftain looking to fight another group of sailors. The militia soldiers sprinted out towards the tribals and immediately opened fire on them, hitting the chieftain and injuring him in the process, but the chieftain goes on and fights, though the chieftain ends his battle injured. The chieftain was downed after a gunshot, after being bashed. The rest of his tribe fled, but we swooped in to save the chieftain to make some allies with these tribals. Gerbil began production on his own room with milk as well. We had another wanderer join who was an Ilfid, which we gave him some psychas, but he immediately started a fight with Silver, immediately showing some bad blood between the two rivals. A warg began hunting our llamas, so Dan and Silver stepped in and started fighting the warg, ending victorious. We began construction on a proper saloon to have proper parties and proper drinks as a whole group. We throwed our first celebration as announcing Gerbil as our leader against the militia. After a long speech, Gerbil was eventually announced as leader of the rebellion and will be leader of any splinter factions from now on. We turned the old bar into Silver's own personal bedroom and expanded on it to allow others to sleep in their own separate rooms instead of a barracks. Hello and welcome to my newest video. So I'm clearing out my CapCut projects as CapCut recently updated, so a bunch of stuff where they put the watermark on it now and they never used to. To begin this video, we're gonna build a kitchen for our essentials as we were basically cooking in the middle of our saloon. We also dug out a bit of a vault alongside the kitchen, as well we were struggling for space for our silver. We had a faction contention between a bunch of tribals and a bunch of expeditionary soldiers. Funny, the expeditionary soldiers were all Ilfids, which was rare because I've never actually seen that before. Now for a proper saloon that worked, you need to sell things like alcohol, which we weren't doing much of. So we built a giant brewery room to properly make alcohol and to keep our colonists happy because they were having constant mental breaks. We had 2 bandits wandering around outside of our base, so we sent out a small squad to deal with them, so they would be raiding any passerbyers as well as trade caravans. The second group down to the south that had no idea we were attacking the north group. So after we cleared out the north group, we went down into the south and killed all of the bandits. After the second group fled, there was a third group nearby that witnessed us clear out the second one. We found one of the bandits bleeding out on the floor, so we decided to rescue them and convert them to our rebellion cause against the tyrannical militia. Silver began digging out a place for a tailor to set up shop and produce a proper place. Silver went to bed, so Gerbil took over and finished up the flooring. Heavy was the first person to actually start tailoring in the tailor shop, creating a duster for our nurse recruit. After Heavy made the duster, he and a few others created a caravan to go out and trade, as well as go to a prison camp to rescue a person. While Heavy's caravan was out, a group of tribals were about to go duke it out on our land, as it's big enough for all to fight. Heavy eventually made it to the prison camp to find no one guarding it, so they busted open the door to find a small Frombo Inn. bunch of ballista soldiers gathered outside our base and set up siege cannons to attack. After one skirmish from our soldiers, we managed to lure them into our main defenses, where we picked them all off one by one in a turning point battle, even though it was very outnumbered for us. Willie, one of Clavzia's friends and high-ranking officers, managed to escape the battle unscathed, and then ran to find Clavzia to inform him that Gerbil is alive. We rescued a Thromboan named Ibrahim from that prison camp I was talking about before. Gerbil decided to host a dance party for the major successes of these past weeks and past battles. After a bit, we did manage to fully clothe Ibrahim. Heavy used his mind-wiping powers to recruit a person named Conrad, and we assigned Conrad as the town's sheriff, as he is the most qualified. He did just like shave his beard. And soon after that, we did build a wall to make our town more and more safe. And this is just me showing you how I did it. We had excellent network. Miok is pregnant. We had a giant group of lizards coming to attack our base. It was quite scary because there was like 50 of them attacking our camp all at once. We had a bunch of people around here helping us defend. Dan eventually convinced Dixon to join our cause, and that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if there's any improvements you would like to see, please let me know in the comments. I am willing to listen to those improvements. Bye bye. This video is sponsored by me. Over these past couple months, my channel has been gaining subscribers in nearly each video, and that's all thanks to you guys. We have reached 76 subscribers. I was gonna do 75, but I was a bit late on that. I call upon you guys to get me to 100, hopefully by the end of this month. Recently, I've uploaded 2 new videos that I am most proud of, and I would like you guys to show your support through just liking. That's all I ask you to do. To go watch those videos and like it. And because of you guys, I've been upping my quality and I've been listening to your comments. And I thank you guys, as this would not be possible without you. This would also not be possible without my great friends shown in those Gmod videos. Insert name here helped me make my most recent Gmod video. It's thumbnail. Now I wish for you guys to go show your support to them as you've shown your support to me. Let's get to 100 subscribers, and then now back to the video. We are back again for another rebellion video, but also the final. Let's get into it. Durable in the last video killed off the militia's most well-respected colonel, Colonel Willie. He was a part of the original series, the Colonial Empire series I made nearly a year ago. In this episode, we research a technology that makes us more technologically advanced than the militia itself. But before we get to that, we start off this video by building some barracks for all our new companions that had joined us in the last episode and throughout this series. After all the plans had been placed down and the builders that went over to build it, we decided to hire some of our fellow rebels who were in splinter factions to go and set up a nearby camp for our rebellious activities against the oppressive militia. As well, they've been growing, so we may as well grow alongside them, maybe even become stronger than them. I thought you guys would like to see what I do to set up these Empire series, like what selections I do to make my empires work when I'm doing it, so I'm just showing you what I do to make it all work. Feeling the need for expansion, Gerbil asked Silver to plan out and build some outer walls to expand our territory. And after a couple of days of long and hard building, we dismantled the old inner wall and then started moving out, building farms and electricity in that area. This entire series, I've always had trouble with food, so I set up a pea food over there. And we also got a notification that Deputy Eliza was pregnant with Leicester's kid, which was big news for our colony since that's the first. Durable, after learning that all the other colonies outside of, I guess, ours had like things called TVs, which he's never seen before, decided to set up a TV in the bar and eventually go and watch it to see what is on the news. As Gerbil sat down at the poker table, he went over and turned on the TV and was horrified by what he saw. He saw what used to be a fellow rebel splinter cell that did not like the militia make peace and form its own government away from the militia's ruthlessness, and became a trading empire for the militia, but not working for. This is bad news for Gerbil, as they were also the reason that the militia didn't just send their entire army to our front door, as they were too preoccupied with dealing with them, the Confederation. Now, we have to advance further, have stronger weapons than the militia to survive. Before we do that, Gerbil wanted this rebellion to be more uniformed and have actual proper armor, as we were just walking around in coats and hats wearing glasses, which means we were pretty prone. Gerbil created himself his own officer's cap to signify he is the leader of this growing rebellion, which will eventually overtake the militia. To do this, we built a producing room as well as a steam engine to power all of our new weapons and armor creation. Bear got his hands on the first helmet ever created and the first armor set ever created, which means we are now becoming stronger. To make this a proper city, we began paving all of the walkways. eventually we began giving everyone who was an assigned soldier their uniform as well as armor. We actually began placing radios all over the place to listen to our rebellion music. Tish, our resident sniper, was the last to get her armor. Then the militia came to prevent us from getting any stronger, using their steam hulks as a hope to stop our new machine guns as well as heavy armor. The first wave of militia soldiers eventually clashed against our walls, and then the steam hulks, after the first wave was defeated, made their way up and was no match for our machine guns as well as our snipers. They were all eventually downed. We stripped all of them to take away their armor, to scrap it, and finished off any survivors to show the militia we meant business. I know this is a very boring ending, but this was very run on time. So, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. And also, if you want to see more Gmod videos, or maybe even more of this Rebellion stuff, let me know in the comments. Or more of this Empire series. Thanks.